I recognize the gentleman from Georgia, Dr. Ferguson, to speak on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm going to make a couple of brief remarks, and then I'm going to like to yield some of my time to my colleague from New York, Mr. Reed, if he would so like to use it. So first of all, talking about the national response, I think it is a remarkable achievement of this country that we have almost vaccinated or will vaccinate almost 100 million Americans against a disease that we knew virtually nothing about a year ago. And from a scientific standpoint, to be able to harness American ingenuity and productivity and develop a public-private partnership called Operation Warp Speed so that we can deliver this life-saving vaccine is a pretty remarkable national response. And to my colleagues that say that the previous administration has failed, we are facing the single biggest threat to our economy and to our lives that we have known with this pandemic. And I think that there were a lot of successes, but the overreach that we're seeing right now is not what this country needs. Listen, look at what we have already debated the fact that while we all agree that certain Americans and certain industries need some targeted relief, the Democrats rejected a very common sense approach to a real problem, which is paying people more on unemployment than they make at their regular job. Listen. If you want to say we want to help those folks that can't go back to work because they want to, but they can't. Well, let's pay them the same as what their normal paycheck is. Let's not pay them more. I think that's a common sense approach. And then to say that you want to address all of America, again, you rejected amendments yesterday that would have directed needed help and assistance to seniors in rural areas and address the mental health crisis that our youth are facing from not being in school. And then you go and you say, we want to increase funding for group daycare settings, yet we won't open schools because it's not safe. How are kids safe in group daycare settings, but not safe in schools? Science does not back that up. And now we want to provide liability protections for those frontline defenders, those people that are out there working. And again, liability reform for people that are doing things the right way, not those that are that have gross malpractice and negligence, and whether it's in the healthcare industry and their businesses. And you won't provide liability protection for that. But on this particular amendment, you won't shine the light on perhaps one of the most egregious problems of this whole deal, which is a governor sending 15,000 people to their death in nursing homes. Come on, let's get real with this. And with that, I will yield the balance of my time to my colleague, Mr. Reed.
I appreciate